The nuanced distinctions between f1.8 and f2.8 apertures are explored through practical, real-world scenarios using Nikon Z cameras. Viewers are offered insights into how these differences genuinely impact photographic results, moving beyond theoretical specifications, thinking f1.8 is always better than f2.8. Think again. This isn't about spec sheets, it's about real-world shooting with your Nikon Z. We're putting these apertures head-to-head in scenarios you actually encounter to reveal the surprising truths that impact your photos, unlock the secrets to getting the absolute best out of your Nikon Z camera by understanding the true impact of f1.8 versus f2.8. Stop guessing and start creating stunning images with confidence, as we show you which aperture genuinely delivers superior results in everyday shooting. Are you leaving amazing photos on the table because you're misunderstanding your f1.8 and f2.8 lenses? We've taken Nikon Z cameras into the field to expose the critical differences beyond the numbers, helping you choose the right aperture every time for that perfect shot. The f1.8 vs f2.8 myth debunked. Setting the record straight on common misconceptions about aperture differences. Briefly touch on the theoretical specs of f1.8 vs f2.8 lenses for Nikon Z. Transition to why on paper doesn't always translate to in the field. Real-world low-light and bokeh showdown. Side-by-side low-light performance comparison in a challenging indoor setting, e.g., dimly lit cafe, evening street. Demonstrate the tangible difference in background blur, bokeh, with practical examples on different subjects, portraits, objects. Discuss the impact of subject-to-background distance on perceived bokeh for both apertures. Sharpness, size and cost, the trade-offs. Analyze real-world sharpness across the frame for both f1.8 and f2.8 lenses at their respective wide-open apertures. Compare the physical size and weight differences, showcasing portability advantages, disadvantages on Z bodies. Break down the typical cost differential and discuss where the value lies for different budgets. Beyond the numbers, practical shooting scenarios. Showcase f1.8 in action for specific scenarios where its wider aperture truly shines, e.g., astrophotography, indoor sports. Illustrate f2.8's versatility and advantages in other situations, e.g., landscapes, events with good lighting. Provide tips on when to choose one over the other based on common photographic goals. Making your decision a personalized recommendation. Summarize the key advantages and disadvantages of both aperture ranges for Nikon Z users. Guide viewers on how to assess their own shooting style and needs to make an informed purchase decision. Call to action, encourage viewers to share their own experiences and questions in the comments, fostering community engagement. Are you leaving amazing photos on the table? This might be happening because you misunderstand your lenses. Specifically, your f1.8 and f2.8 lenses. Thinking f1.8 is always better? Think again. This video is not about technical specification sheets. It is about real-world shooting with your Nikon Z camera. We are putting these two popular apertures head-to-head. We use scenarios you actually encounter. We want to reveal the surprising truths. These truths directly impact your final photographs. We are here to set the record straight. Many common misconceptions exist about aperture differences. People see a lower number. They automatically assume it is the superior choice. On paper, the f1.8 lens is faster. It allows a full stop more light than the f2.8 lens. This is the simple theory. This means the f1.8 can shoot in half the light. Or it can use a shutter speed twice as fast. f1.8 also offers a shallower depth of field. This gives you more background blur. These are the textbook advantages. But the paper specs do not always translate perfectly. They do not tell the whole story in the field. In a controlled lab test, f1.8 looks like the clear winner. In the real world, the differences become more nuanced. Sharpness, size, and cost complicate the choice. Sometimes, the f2.8 lens is a more consistent performer. Sometimes, the lighter weight of an f1.8 primes makes a bigger difference than the extra stop of light. Your shooting style matters most. The subject, the environment, and your budget are all critical factors. Understanding this is key to unlocking your creative potential. Stop guessing and start creating stunning images. Let's dive right into the real-world low-light and bokeh showdown. We set up a challenging indoor scene. Think of a dimly lit cafe in the evening. There are only small lamps and ambient light. This is a tough test. We shoot side by side using the Nikon Z camera. First, the low light performance. The F1.8 lens immediately shows its strength. It gathers significantly more light. To match the exposure of the F2.8, we have to drop the ISO. The F1.8 shot looks cleaner. It has less digital noise. This is a tangible difference. If you often shoot in dark restaurants or dim concert halls, the F1.8 is a major advantage. It directly translates to superior image quality in the darkest conditions. Next, we look at the background blur, or bokeh. Both apertures produce beautiful bokeh. But the F1.8 provides a noticeably shallower depth of field. We shoot a close-up portrait. The subject's face is sharp. The background immediately melts away. It becomes a beautiful, creamy blur. The separation is dramatic. The F2.8 lens provides great separation, but it is less extreme. The transition from sharp to blur is slightly more gradual. For maximum subject isolation, the F1.8 wins. However, we need to consider the distance. Subject to background distance is crucial. If your background is very far away, the F2.8 can look almost as blurry as the F1.8. The distance makes the biggest difference. If you are shooting in a small room, the F1.8's extra stop of blur is vital. If you are shooting outdoors with a deep background, the F2.8 saves you money and weight. It still gives you professional-looking results. The choice depends on your physical space. It depends on how close you can get to your subject. This is a critical factor often forgotten in online reviews. The aperture setting is only one part of the equation. We must now talk about sharpness. It's the technical quality of the image itself. We tested both F1.8 and F2.8 Nikon Z lenses. We analyzed their performance wide open. This means F1.8 for the prime lens. It means F2.8 for the zoom lens. In the center of the frame, both lenses are exceptionally sharp. The difference is often negligible. Modern Nikon Z lenses are optically superb. You get fantastic detail from both. This is true for the F1.8 primes. It is also true for the F2.8 zooms. The real difference appears at the edges and corners. When shot wide open, the F1.8 prime can sometimes show a slight drop in corner sharpness. The extreme corners are just a little softer. This is a common optical trade-off. It is the cost of that extremely wide aperture. The F2.8 zoom, however, often maintains greater consistency. Its sharpness holds up better across the entire frame. This is especially true at F2.8. If you are shooting landscapes or architecture, corner-to-corner sharpness is important. For these specific subjects, the F2.8 zoom might technically deliver a more uniform result. The moment you stop down, everything changes. Stopping the F1.8 down to F2.8 significantly improves its edge performance. It reaches its peak sharpness. It often surpasses the zoom lens here. The F1.8 lens stopped down to F2.8 or F4 can be the sharpest option available. Next, we address a practical factor, size and weight. This impacts your shooting experience daily. The Nikon Z F2.8 zoom lenses are large. They are significantly heavier than the F1.8 prime lenses. A single F2.8 zoom lens replaces 3 or 4 F1.8 primes. This saves you space in your camera bag. But it adds considerable weight to your camera. The F1.8 primes are notably smaller. They are lightweight. They balance beautifully on the compact Nikon Z bodies. This is a huge advantage for travel. It is great for long days of shooting. It makes the whole system more discreet. It causes less fatigue. The difference in portability is undeniable. Carrying 3 f1.8 primes is often still lighter than carrying one f2.8 zoom. This difference directly impacts whether you take your camera out or leave it at home. Finally, let us look at the cost. Money is a factor for everyone. The Nikon Z f2.8 zoom lenses are a serious investment. They cost substantially more than a single f1.8 prime lens. The zoom offers great convenience. It covers a huge range of focal lengths. But that convenience comes at a premium price. The f1.8 primes are far more budget-friendly. You can often buy 2 or even 3 f1.8 primes for the price of one f2.8 zoom. This is where the value really lies for many photographers. If you are starting your Nikon Z collection, the f1.8 lenses are the smart entry point. They give you that crucial wide aperture. They do it without breaking the bank. The choice becomes a direct trade-off. Do you prioritize the versatility and convenience of the f2.8 zoom? Or do you prioritize the speed, portability, and affordability of the f1.8 primes?